Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kyle Garman. I'm here with JD and Mary, our two esteemed guests, to talk about the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. I know that everybody will enjoy the discussion today. JD, can I pass it over to you for a quick intro?
Sounds great. Hi, Kyle. Great to be with you. Hi, Mary. Great to have you with us, too. My name's Dr. JD LaRock. I'm the president and CEO of NFTE, the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And essentially what we do is we teach young people how to identify a business idea, develop it into a business plan, and launch a business. NFTE today works in 25 states across the U.S. and 12 countries around the world. We serve collectively about 80,000 students around the world, but more than 30,000 here in the U.S.
And Mary, would love to pass it over to you for an intro.
Sure. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Mary Blackford, and I'm the founder of Market 7. Market 7 is a community marketplace that features Black-owned businesses for the purpose of alleviating food and retail deserts right here in Washington, D.C. I began my entrepreneurial journey as a NFTE student. So I started my first business when I was 16, right here in Washington, D.C. at the Business and Finance Academy at H.G. Woodson Senior High School. My latest venture, Market 7, we started about 3 years ago, and I really started Market 7 because I was hungry, and I mean really hungry, the type of hunger that kind of makes you want to get up and do something about it. After college, I moved back home, and I realized that we had quite a food desert issue. And in fact, those who live in Ward 7 and 8 in Washington, D.C. are dying up to 16 years earlier than places outside of this area because of a lot of health issues like diabetes that can be solved in part or altogether through a change of diet. So in true NFTE fashion, I said, what can we do about this problem? And so I started to organize with 60 Black-owned businesses right here in the Washington, D.C. area to create alternative pop-up markets that included fresh food, sustainable produce, lifestyle products, and home essentials so that people had an alternative marketplace to go to get food. And today we have thrown several alternative pop-up markets, and now we are developing a 7,000 square foot food hall right here in the nation's capital. It is the first of its kind, so I'm very excited about that.
Well, Mary, thank you so much for sharing that. You know, your story is so incredibly inspirational. You know, one of the topics for today is really about the entrepreneurial mindset. And so I wanted to frame the next set of our discussions around sort of the 8 domains of the entrepreneurial mindset. And then JD, maybe you could talk a little bit about how we actually measure the mindset using Qualtrics.
The Qualtrics platform is a fantastic platform on which our entrepreneurial mindset index is based. And what it consists of is essentially a set of situational assessments where students respond to different situations and what they would do. And then the assessment indicates where a student is on each of the domains, and it lists their top 3 domains and their three domains in which they need the most work. And what's really cool about this Qualtrics-powered platform is that it also maps to a series of exemplars, entrepreneurs, leaders, business owners in the real world who embody the mindset domains that a particular test taker might exhibit. And this is really important because one of the important things that NFTE does is give young learners a vision of who they can become. Our learners don't always have the opportunity to see in their communities or the world around them examples of who they can become and what opportunities are there out in the world.
So Mary, let's turn it over to you now and really take us back maybe to your initial experience with NFTE and how that's really helped frame the opportunities that you've pursued so successfully as an entrepreneur.
When I joined NFTE as a student, I wanted to be so many things in the world, but entrepreneurship really took to me because I really got to be transformative in community. So taking a bunch of kids to New York and letting us buy materials or products, bringing those things back, being able to sell them and make a profit and really understand that, you can make a way for yourself was very transformative for me and my classmates.
But could you talk about, just from a personal level, some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome in this journey?
Ooh. A lot of long nights. Coming from a disadvantaged community, I'm going to be quite honest, funding is a really big issue more than anywhere else. When I went to Babson, we learned about the different kind of rounds of funding that people go through. We talk about, the family and friend round. And I remember having a session in college, and they talked about the family and friends round. I was like, oh yeah, we could just get $20,000-$30,000 friends and family round. And I'm like, friends and family? Who's friends and family? My friends and family? We don't always have access to the same sort of funding as our counterparts who are outside of our communities. But it is difficult. I can't go to the bank and get a traditional bank loan.
What is your advice to corporate partners? What could we be doing better, and what could we be doing more of as a corporate partner from your point of view?
Yeah, so I think in terms of equity, we always have to make sure that we are paying attention to those who are essentially disenfranchised and not getting up the pipeline of opportunity. We need support, and that support can come in many ways. That support can come by way of funding, but also by way of just providing that access to opportunity. And so when I think about what corporate partners can do, is definitely working with those Black women in particular who are working in disenfranchised communities to do those things. So more diversity, making sure that you are creating equitable opportunities for people who want to engage in entrepreneurship and other opportunities as well.
What makes the partnership between NFTE and SAP so special is that we get mentors who give such sophisticated and supportive guidance to our learners around these specialized domains that are essential to the running of a business. And I truly believe that we are playing an important role in building the next generation of diverse entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and JD, I think, and Mary, I think that's really a call to action, for us as a company, and for more broadly the corporate community in general, to play a more active role in mentoring our next generation of entrepreneurs. And would love any sort of departing thoughts, from you, Mary, and maybe you, JD, as well.
My advice and parting thoughts and kind of things that I think people can work on is, as you build out curriculum, as you build out opportunity, as you build out funding, think about who needs it most, and think about how transformative that can be when you invest in communities, and how impactful those investments, whether they be by education or funding or time, investing in time, mentoring, how transformative those things can be for those communities.
Thank you so much for that guidance, Mary. I think that was incredibly well said. And again, congrats on all of your success. JD, maybe you can sort of bring us home with some closing thoughts here.
As we look at the world ahead, I see the world turning toward tech, toward data, toward finance. And I think in addition to social entrepreneurship continuing to be a strong strand of what NFTE does, we're going to see more young business owners gravitating toward those fields that are defining the current and future state of our world. I want NFTE and our collective work to make capitalism something that is for everybody. And I think we are doing that. And that's what sort of empowers me and my team as we move forward every day.
So thanks again so much for joining us, and looking forward to a great 2021 working together with everybody. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed our discussion here.